Right, welcome back to Whizbit's Random Gaming, and this week's video we're taking a return trip to Islington CEX. However, on my way down there, I noticed this shop, Tech Exchange. Never knew this shop existed. So whilst looking in the window, you can see a vast array of games and consoles. With that in mind, let's have a quick look inside. So first thing I see once I'm inside, not a bad selection of PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 games. All seems to be quite reasonably priced as well. Although in all honesty, there's nothing really on the shelves here today that I was looking for. The same can be said with the PS3 section that you see here, and also this small section of Switch and PS5 games. However, what I did find interesting here is the games you see here are up for pre-order. So this shop clearly does sell new stock as well. Sorry about the poor lighting here, but that is a rather nice Street Fighter 2 fighting stick. Also got plenty of consoles like most shops have these days, and yeah, a whole world of Switches down here, all sorts of colours, varieties and models. Plus a couple of Super Nintendo Turbo pads down there in the left hand corner. Anyway, let's head on to CEX, what we came down here for. I had to get out of that shop pretty quickly as one of the staff members was following my son, and as soon as he touched something, had a little moan at him. A little bit harsh I thought, but yeah, I totally understand it. But yeah, probably could have been dealt with a bit better. Now, the last time I was down in this particular branch, we had quite a few games that I think I wouldn't mind buying. However, there was a lot of bad conditioned covers or lack of manuals. I've never seen that orange Xbox controller out in the wild. Not particularly my favourite colour, but still, it's still a nice control pad. I've said it many times, the Xbox controllers for me are number one. And although I love the PS5 ones, it seems that developers do not use it to its full capabilities, as displayed if anyone has played the recent Astrobot release. Sony seem to be the only people that are using the control pad to its full potential, and a lot of other developers, from my experience anyway, just seem to cruise on by and use the most basic of features the control pad comes with. Right, let's head on inside and see what they've got on offer. I remember these PlayStation remotes. Did anyone actually use their remote on a regular basis? I had remotes all the way up to the PlayStation 5. I did eventually trade my one in, so I realised I'm not watching anything on it. Nice selection of PlayStation 5 control pads here. A good variety of colours, and I must say a lot of them look absolutely fantastic. What in the name of Pigsy is that thing? Shout out to everyone that's old enough to remember Monkey Magic. Nice selection of handhelds you've got down there at the bottom. The red 3DS XL or XL just DS, I'm not sure. Always a nice one. My wife has got one of those. We don't play it too often, but she did used to play it a lot. Mario Kart 7 and Super Mario Brothers DS were the games of choice, and also the Professor Layton series. Pretty small section of Xbox One games here today, and nothing really that stands out. Got Cyberpunk there, one game I still to this day have not played or added to my collection. I feel I need to add it at some point. It's just seeing it at the right price. Now you got two really good games here on this Xbox double pack in Limbo and Inside. Both good games, £20. I'm going to say it's a little bit on the high side considering the prices you can get both of these games for digitally, but a nice release nevertheless. Haven't seen it out and about too often, but yeah, the price did put me off picking that one up. I believe I've got all them games digitally, so no need to spend that sort of money on it. Now, I've played this Super Lucky's Tale a fair few times on Xbox Game Pass, and it's a nice sort of N64 type tribute platformer. At £5, I'm going to consider picking that one up today. Now, not a bad selection of OG Xbox stuff, I must say. I remember playing this one in the early 2000s. It was terrible then. I'm pretty sure it's terrible now, but it was fun. It's one of those games you could put on and just play with your friends. Playing it in single campaign mode though would probably get boring pretty quick. It was very rarely I ever did that when it first came out. Right, over to the PlayStation 2 section, and if you watch my previous video on the Islington branch, it's a small section. However, I must say it is much improved and a lot tidier than it was on my last visit. One of the worst things about the PlayStation 2 displays is that with the white on the sleeves or the outside, you can really notice when a game has not been looked after. As you can see one right there, it's more grey than anything. Now here's one I wanted to pick up today. Now, I never used to be someone that was bothered about manuals, but recently I kind of have become bothered with manuals. Especially with games that you know you can pick up fairly easily looking around. And these two games, Soul Calibur 3 and Spawn, particularly Spawn, one that I really want at £28, I'm not going to be buying it without the manual. Really disappointed in seeing that as it goes, particularly in the case of Spawn, which is a game I've been after for some time. Yeah, I know I probably could have bought both of those games, picked up a manual on the cheap somewhere, I'd rather use my vouchers that I've got on me today than real life money. It's more fun and guilt-free spending when using vouchers. You know, the Infamous series is a series of games that I've not played. I hear good things about it. And maybe it's a series I need to get into and pick up on the PlayStation 3. Similar with the Ratchet and Clank games, I've got very limited experience with them. I know a lot of people love them, and maybe it's a series of games I need to collect and complete for the PlayStation 3. Although some of the Ratchet and Clank games can get very pricey. Now look at that, Silent Hill Origins there on the PSP, only £35. It's one of the remaining Silent Hill games that I need for the PS2, and the price difference is amazing. If I'm looking to pick that one up complete in box, I'm looking to pay £115. Right, quickly browsing through the Xbox 360 selection, and here's a copy of Samurai Showdown on the 360. I used to own this game. It seems to have gone up in price, and its rarity is there's not many copies in stock from what I see. However, it's a truly awful game. Never been that much of a Star Trek fan either. I always kind of looked at Star Trek as a really rubbish version of Star Wars. Yes, I know Star Trek is years older. However, I grew up watching both at roughly the same time, and it was no contest for me. Now, previously you would have seen a copy of WarTech there, another game that's gone up in value in recent months for the 360. That game was one of the games that was a victim of the 360 hype. I don't really have any interest in that game. It didn't get great reviews from what I remember at the time, and no one was really after it or for the price hike. So I remain with that same frame of mind. No real inclination to add that to the collection, especially at the increased price. Now let's have a quick look at the Switch section. We've got Bunny Park there at £15 if anyone's interested. Now there's a game I'm really interested in, and that's Dark. It's £12 currently. I'm not sure though what kind of game it is. Well, I kind of am. It's a horror puzzle game. I don't know how much I would play it. Definitely very intrigued. I've just got a feeling I'm going to buy it and, you know, not get very far on it. Puzzle games, yeah, not my forte. I normally resort to YouTube, or I ask someone in the house to help. Normally my wife. Mortal Kombat 1 now has dropped to a very reasonable price, $20 or £22. Now I know it got scathing reviews upon its release for the Switch, and rightly so from the videos that I saw back then. I've been told it's been patched and there's been a ton of improvements. Anyone that's got that game, let me know. Has it been improved to the point where it's now worth purchasing? Very lackluster selection of Wii U games here today, and it always bothers me when you see one of these games with a massive different shade of blue. If you're going to reprint the cover, then at least reprint it with the same ink. Unfortunately, for me anyway, not a great deal on the Nintendo Wii today that I need, or anything that I really wanted. It's getting a lot harder for me to find games on that system that I want, but I will always continue to look. Right, onto the PS5 section, and amazingly, I've been picking up a few PS5 games recently, and that there is one of them. Jack Holmes, Puppet Master. Yet to play it, but yeah, I've been picking up some PlayStation 5 stuff recently. The collection is growing. Better late than never, eh? Right, so today's pickups, we picked up on the Switch Bayonetta 3. I've played through the first two, so it's about time I picked up the third one and completed the trilogy. And as I mentioned earlier, Super Lucky's Tale, I don't mind that game. I think it's a pretty good title from Microsoft Studios, so definitely one I'm happy with. Anyway guys, that was Islington CEX. Not a bad shop. It's always the kind of the halfway shop for me. It's kind of in between other journeys, and for that reason I'll continue to visit there. It's not the most tidiest of shops. Staff are always pretty good though, I must say that much. And like I say, with it being in between other shops that I visit on a frequent basis, it's always worth popping in to see what they've got. Anyway, thank you for watching as always. It's much appreciated. Did you see anything in the video today that I should have picked up? Do you also believe I should have picked up them Spawn games and that Soul Calibur just because they didn't have a manual? Love to know your thoughts. Please let me know in the comments. In the meantime, if you do like this content, please take the time to consider subscribing to the channel. Give us a like, give us a share, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys on the next video.